Hey guys, Jason from the Gig Economy Podcast. Real quick, this episode was pre-recorded because I am going to be out of town. It will be live as you're watching this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Jesper will be online chatting about the episode, and as we talked to Tony, the Driven Dad. So we're supposed to tell you that it's not live, so you guys don't get fussy. I guess that's the general rule. So, anyways. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the B-side. This proves how old we are, because if you know, back in the day, there was always a B-side on a label or a record. Does anyone know what records are anymore?
A record.
Record.
A record.
So every other Wednesday, we have our main show. We talk about gig news and that kind of stuff. And we started this January, the off Wednesdays, to highlight a gig worker. And the other Wednesday, highlight a gig creator / worker / everything. So I appreciate
everything. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a gig creator, I'm hoping you're a gig worker at some point. I mean,
right.
I know there's guys. There's a couple guys that have gotten deactivated that still make a ton of money on YouTube. Ryan is driving. Maybe is that one of them? That
is he still getting money?
Oh yeah, I mean, why not? He's got like 1 billion subscribers.
Yeah, that's true.
Today we're live, and he gets a lot of views even on his lives, and he hasn't been in YouTube for a long time.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
So
I mean, once you get so many subscribers, it probably doesn't matter what content you put up, honestly.
Right.
So today we are highlighting Tony, the Driven Dad. He is going to tell you about all that. I don't know Tony other than meeting him through Steve from RideShare Rodeo. I've been trying to become more familiar with gig tubers as far as like the creators and hopping in their lives. And obviously I was attracted to Tony's beard. I do not see a spot of gray in that mofo, which is insane.
That's because the light is being generous to me right now.
I mean, literally, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's like formed nice. Like mine's like a homeless person, but
beard heat brush.
I got all that. Well, see, I won't spend the time on it. Like I'll put some balm and oil, but I'm not getting a heat brush or a straightener. I have no time for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Tony, why don't you tell us a little bit about us, what you do as a gig creator, and then kind of your introduction to maybe some gig work and how you got into creating content for YouTube.
All right. Well, I'm in the Denver market. I've been working on Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash mainly. And how I got started into the content creation is when I first decided I was going to start doing Uber. That's the first app I worked on. I did a lot of research, and there were the RideShare guy and the Simple Driver is what I saw on there. And they both promoted at the time, like, if you're going to do this and you're not afraid of a camera, you might as well try to become the expert in your market that people can go to. And so that's what I originally got started in for gig creation, is being the expert in my market or somebody that I can actually help people learn how to do the jobs. Because, you know, obviously in the gig economy, there's no training.
Yeah. So you're saying when you started creation, your channel, it was just, you said the Simple Mom and the RideShare guy?
Oh, the Simple Driver.
Simple Driver, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure if you've watched YouTube back in like 2015, 16 or 17, somewhere in there, he was one of the only ones that had over 100,000 subscribers. Besides, I don't even think Harry had 100,000 subscribers yet.
Not at that point.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. So what got you into gig work? I always often wonder where that comes, especially somebody that does it more than just like a part-time kind of thing.
Right. So I got started in gig work part-time, actually, because my company that I was working for at the time kept on changing the way that we get paid on our bonuses. And if you're a salaried manager, you can't really make extra money if you lose your bonus. So I didn't lose my bonus based off of my performance. I lost it based off them moving the way that you can make it to being individual as more of a team. And I have no control over the team other than my own team. And I was like, I got to make the money that I lost out on. So Uber, I was making good money part-time, making like $300 in 2 days, and
Okay.
still having time to spend with the family and everything. Sounds like not a lot of money nowadays, but
Yeah.
that's as a full-time perspective, $300, I can make that in a half a day. But yeah, that's how I dove into it, is because I needed some extra money to make up for lost bonus money.
Yeah. Make sure we, yes, bro, I'll cut this out, but let's try to alternate questions.
Yeah, but where are the questions?
Well, I mean, just
cut
first
that
of
out,
all, Tony, you're finding out I prepare everything. First of all, it's been in the drive for about a month. Second of all, we sat and did a brainstorming section. Second of all, you don't have to ask off the list if you have a question about what he's talking about.
I know that.
Now I gotta edit this video. Damn it, yes.
You have to edit it. Yes, yes, you do.
No,
I apologize.
Okay.
I've been a little bit out of it because of
you
everything
have.
going
It's
on.
okay.
It's been a crazy day.
People like the raw stuff unedited.
They do. We have a Patreon for both our shows, and my other show. Oh my gosh, they say more of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, some of that is not rated for
not advertiser friendly, huh?
No, it's not.
Right.
So, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think I started, that's currently, I've just had a big change. Let me back up. I've been doing gig work full time in the winter. I've done lawn care for 20 years. And so I would get laid off every October-ish. And then in 2016, I started RideShare, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. And then so since then, every winter I've got laid off. Moving forward, I actually quit my lawn care job this year after 20 years, same company for 15 years. So it's a little sticker shock, and I'm just going to focus on gig work, my podcast editing. And then I'm actually training to become a bus driver too. So not a gig. It's W-2, but anyways, that's for another day.
So like a public transit or like a kids bus?
Yeah, sorry, Granville. Yeah, sorry, kids school bus. That's a big difference. Yeah,
you're doing the Lord's work there, man.
Yeah, one of them I can tell them to fuck off, and the other one, if I did that, I'm getting fired. So.
That's because you don't want Jason driving normal people.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I have to work on it. I have such a potty mouth. It helps that every bus has cameras throughout the entire thing. So if I pop off, it's probably going to get pulled. So
there's some very fun stories from back in the days when Jason, he was taking passengers regularly.
Oh yeah. I've batted people's hands away from my radio. Yeah, I don't like people's bullshit. I hate it.
No doubt.
It's pretty crazy. Hey, so how big is that? You say you're driving in Denver. How big is Denver as a market?
Yeah, it's about 1.5 million, I'd say. Colorado is a little over 3 million, and most of it, is in the front range between like Fort Collins to Colorado Springs, with Denver being in the middle of those two.
And would you how many miles would you say that is, just roughly?
Like the metro city is probably like 30 or 40 miles from north to south, east to west, probably, about the same. It's pretty symmetrical.
So probably about size-wise, about the same size as Grand Rapids, but about only Grand Rapids is about half your market size. So we have about I think last we heard it was like 600 or 700,000 people.
So like Denver proper is probably like 300 to 400,000. And then the rest of the metro, all the suburbs, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of like us. Our Grand Rapids proper is lower, but you add all the subs, it's in the million. It's pretty good size. So how close are you to Steve from RideShare Rodeo?
That's about 20 minutes away. Yeah, not too far.
All right, not bad.
Not too far at all. No.
So when you started gig creating, did you always want to do something like that? Have you had that mindset growing up? I'm not sure your age. My guess is you're late 30s.
I just turned 40 in October.
Okay, so
that's late 30s.
Yeah, we'll still say late 30s. So
it's the last year of the decade, because you don't start a decade at zero.
That's true. That's true. So did you ever want to do that, like growing up in high school? Like, is something that you've like, I really like this content creating, or was something you just like, I think I'll try it and it stuck?
So, I mean, I grew up in a house of 4, 2 brothers and a sister, and we would be like, I'm the oldest, so by the time I was old enough to become the babysitter, like when we were bored, we found the camcorder and we're just like running around. I wrote like movie scripts. We never finished our
Nice.
movies, but
Of course not.
we used to write our own little like Weird Al type parodies to songs and stuff, So I think, and then my brother, he got a Lego studio.
Yeah.
But he didn't have a computer and I did. So we made Lego movies. We made people like if there were the things like what's that one? Vine. If Vine was something, then I would have probably been huge on Vine and then have like just huge because we made stuff that people were making on Vine and all this YouTube short and Instagram reels. Like we were doing this before. Just not in portrait, is in landscape, but
right.
That's an easy change.
You should put that on your channel today. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
some retro
I'd have to
recording.
ask my brother because he's the computer nerd, even though he didn't have a computer. He may have a backup drive with all this old stuff on it.
Dude, that would be incredible. You could like have like the YouTube membership or something and just put it on the back end that they can.
Absolutely.
It'll be the reason to open up a Patreon.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's cool. So why do you continue to like, I mean, obviously you like doing it. What is your goal with like creating the channel? I mean, obviously everyone wants to make sure that, or wants it to be like a full-time income, but it feels like there's so many creators out there.
Right.
Is that your goal? Are you just enjoying it while it's happening now?
I figured if I'm going to be in the gig economy and it's something I can already do, like most of my content at this point is live streams. So you can follow me while you're riding along and you can ride with us or whatever. And I have a little bit of a game plan on edited videos, but my focus for edited videos and for a actual good income for YouTube, I'm actually going to monetize this thing right here. Yeah, because the market space for that and partnerships and brand deals is a lot better, I think, as far as I don't want to end up trying to help people make more money than to just spend it with my partners, in the gig world, unless it's something that they can get for either free or very like I help Gary promote this because I think his apps are great, but other than that, I don't get paid by Gary unless somebody signs up.
Okay, so like
yeah.
So it's interesting you pointed at your beard. One of the products, and I should have brought it down. I was thinking about it, is in Boulder, Colorado that I buy. It's Mod Cabin.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out because I want to review a lot of different things. And
they're right. They're right. I've used them for years. It's so funny you brought the beard up too. So back, I had a random YouTube. You don't have a beard. Shut up. It's shorter than pubic hair.
Hey, it took me like 5 years to grow this thing. Okay, come on, I'm proud of it.
Yeah. So back in the day, I created when beards started becoming a thing. So what, like 5-6 years ago?
Okay.
I created a YouTube channel, and I don't know if it's still live or not, but it's called Beard Bandit. I looked back on an old video. I had like 11,000 views on it. I was like, shit, this is like me putting beard balm on. I'm like,
right.
I should have continued that, but I just burned out. Or I start a bunch of hobbies like this podcast is one that's actually stuck, but I mean, I've cared for bees. You name it, I've freaking done it.
Were you the bearded beekeeper? I'm not sure.
No, I think there was. Well, maybe that's what it was. Bearded beekeeper, beard bandit. I don't know.
You know what? Like when I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't know anything about YouTube and niches or niches, however you want to call it. Well, you're very niched down being the gig economy podcast. So at least people know they're coming here for the gig economy. My channel's original name was The Bearded Daddy.
Okay.
I had 3 with one on the way. And I was going to do rideshare and beard stuff. That was the plan. And, since I'm in rideshare, I could also put in my BMWs at the time
Yeah.
as content too. So
I,
I was
I
all
think
over the place.
I think the Beard Daddy is a little weird. You could make OnlyFans with that title.
That was before I even knew anything about OnlyFans.
Of course. But now you look at it like Beard Dad.
What is this OnlyFans?
I mean, I don't know.
I have only one fan, and I'm married to her. So
there you go.
So speaking of fans and so forth, what sets your content apart from the other gig creators out there?
I don't know if I set apart other than my wife and we do the work together in Teslas, and I know a lot of drivers now have Teslas, but I don't see a whole lot of content creation in that space. So that's one thing I want to start maybe more focusing on, is how the Tesla operates in the gig economy. But we do live streams together in separate vehicles on StreamYard, and they're super long. I know like Mr. Flex does them every day, but we do those like Friday and Saturday basically.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I have a gig university. It's called Get a Real Job University. So I just started that.
Is that affiliated with YouTube, or do you have like a website for that?
I have neither. It's basically my version of giving out content for free. I don't want to charge people for information that, they're like, people have asked me that have contacted me through my channel, like, what's your consultation fee? I'm like, I don't have a consultation fee. Like, if I can't tell you what you need to know in 10 or 15 minutes, then maybe I should charge you a consultation fee, but that's basically all you need.
Yeah. Well, that's fair of you. I mean, I would caution you to think about that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
if I get enough people that need like actual one-on-one help, like a weekly thing, that'd be different. But one phone call.
I mean, sure. You could really clean up if you have the time. I mean, honestly, there's no, like, you see the Facebook. I mean, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but you see these groups. I mean, and then Reddit, like, people are stupid.
Yeah.
They really are.
Like, even and just to the fact of like taxes, like, oh, I didn't track my mileage. Is Uber going to give me my mileage? Like, this is the year I want to blow my phone up with social media posts about taxes. I'm like, and just basic stuff. I mean, I understand people can be ignorant about that, but I mean, do a 1 second Google search about being an independent contractor, and that probably will pop up.
And don't let Jackson Hewitt and H&R Block tell you can't deduct things, because you can.
Yeah. Don't go
to H&R Block. They won't give you half your deductions.
So tell me a little bit about the gigs you do. You said you do rideshare driving and DoorDash. Do you do anything unique as far as independent contractor stuff, or is it just like the basics like we do?
Yeah, it's just the basics. Gotcha. In the process of setting up Dumpling because of Mr. RideShare Rodeo.
Yeah, he pressured me. In fact, I just canceled my, like, they give you a free trial for the monthly. I just canceled it because I bought the initial, what was it, like $20?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to work on this, and I've had zero time to do it. So
for sure.
He peer pressures people.
I just know I've ran into a few people that are using Instacart, and they're mad at it while they're in my car, and they live close to me. So I'm like, okay, I'm losing out on some potential revenue here.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a card and you're driving them around, say, hey, like, if you want a personal shopper, this is what I do. I mean,
yeah.
And I feel like you're a low key guy that you're not going to spam them, you know, be a salesman with it. You're just gonna be like, hey, I hear you talking about this. Must be frustrating. I can help you drive. I mean, yeah, I think that's a great thing to do.
I mean, you and I were just talking about that the other day, Jason. You were out on a it wasn't Instacart, it was one of the other ones. And what was it? You had this one person that had done like 820 of them or something like that.
Oh yeah, so it's been slow in January, Tony. So I fired up Instacart. So I did a couple Instacart runs, which were surprisingly not that bad. They paid okay, but Instacart, I don't know if you've ever done it, tells you how many people or how many times they've ordered on Instacart.
Right.
And this guy was 800. I was his 807th order. So this guy, like, the pandemic hit, and he's like, I'm never going to the store again.
Right. He's like, peace.
And he tipped me $10 for 3 items. Like, this guy knows how to get shit done, and
Right.
I appreciated that. The one problem I hear people have with Instacart, especially as a customer, is that they batch a lot of that stuff together. So if I tip really well, they'll batch it with 2 shitty orders. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that person that tipped well doesn't get the priority. Now, I guess for like $2, you can buy priority access to only get one. But I'm like, I never thought about that. If I tipped really good and 2 other people didn't, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna get
carrying the load.
Yeah, exactly. You're carrying the tip for everyone else.
That's
stupid.
Yeah, that's no right.
Let's see.
I had a follow up on your Tesla. So you're saying you guys are driving Tesla. I quite often get, I'm on Facebook too, and I quite often get people will ask me about, whether or not is it actually really worth it to drive a Tesla. Have you guys ever done any kind of calculations on those? And I'm not saying let's get into the whole,
right,
wear and tear and anything, but what about the actual, as opposed to filling your car? I mean, these times, it's like 425 or 345, whatever a gallon again. I mean, what do you think? Have you calculated how much do you use on electricity for a weekend or something? Do you know?
Yeah, so on my channel, I've actually done some breakdowns of the cost comparison of, because I rent mine from a local person here. I don't go through the Uber Hertz thing.
Okay.
And partly I've actually got 5 referrals, one being my wife, but so 4 referrals outside of her, but I'm at $125 discount every week off of my rate. So I'm at $313. That's just about $70 more in fuel cost than my car for doing this full time. So that alone is, in my book, paid for because I don't have to worry about wear and tear or anything. And then I still have some free charging months left on my Lyft charging, because I rented one of their electric vehicles, and in Colorado they had a deal where they'll give you 2 years of charging for free at Electrify America. So, but I have estimated how much it would cost with electricity if I were to pay for it.
Okay.
So does your wife rent hers too?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel like that's a better fit than owning it?
As far as doing rideshare in it, for our situation, yeah, because I've beat up 2 BMWs and I still owe money on, and I'm fixing them I can put them on Turo, so they can just, I can just pay them off, and then they're my kids' cars once they get their license, basically, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I've always looked at, I love a Tesla. I love the idea of it, but I didn't want to spend 50 grand on an electric car. You know
That's what I tell people is, if you're not already buying a $50,000 car, I wouldn't buy a $50,000 car.
Yes.
But if you're wanting to scale, like let's say you want to become like a Uber Black fleet account, buy the Tesla and then hire a driver through your Black account, give them access to Uber Black, and then get another Tesla and keep doing it.
I want to know more about that.
But we don't have Uber Black in our market.
Well, I mean, just in general, being a fleet driver or like owning a couple of cars.
You don't even have to have Uber Black to be a fleet owner on Uber.
I got to figure that out. We should figure that out, Jesper.
Now you want me to buy a fleet with you? Okay.
Well, I didn't say we had to buy a bunch of them, but
if you got some Model 3s, people would do it because it'd be cheaper for them to rent through you than it would through Uber, and then you could also let them use it for other apps too.
Yeah,
and that's true. My biggest thing is I wouldn't want to drive a Tesla just because I'm an XL driver.
Oh, and you guys are up north too, so I don't know.
Yeah, the winter thing. I don't know how those work in the winter. I see them out.
It's actually interesting. Norway. I'm from Scandinavia, so I know some of these things. In Norway, 75% of all vehicles on the road in Norway is actually electric vehicles. 75%. And most of those are Teslas because they're the only ones that can handle the cold.
Oh.
Yeah, they handle the cold. It's just, if you're a rideshare driver, the cold weather does make you have to charge more often.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
if you're just a regular commuter, you could still go a whole week without charging and then charge once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Toyota Prime vehicles?
No, I haven't.
So a Toyota Prime, they have a SUV and then a sedan, but it's 50 miles of electric and then switches into hybrid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So is that like their RAV4? Because
Yeah.
that's what some people have been talking to me about. They're like, do I get a Tesla or this? I'm like, are you paying this kind of car note? And I would just probably go with the hybrid.
Yeah. I think it's
because most people's commute are less than 50 miles,
Yeah, I think it's the best of both worlds. It may not be ideal for a gig worker because you're going to burn through that 50 miles, and it's a generous 50. Let's face it. You hammer on that accelerator, you're going to be dropped down to 40 miles. But I like the idea. I don't think that America is ready for an all electric car.
Oh, no way. No.
Yeah.
They want us to switch to electric, but they don't want to let the regulations lax back on the power grid.
Right. Exactly.
The power grid can't handle it.
You can't have one thing without giving up another, right?
It's all in moderation. If you go extreme one way, it's not good either way. But I think the electric hybrid is something that they should really try to focus their money, their time on, because like I said, you commute, you'll never use gas. And then when you want to go to, a ball game on the weekend, it kicks into the hybrid and uses the fuel. I mean, I think it's kind of win-win. And you don't need to charge that thing with a supercharger. You plug it into 110 overnight and it's fine.
Right. Or if you still want to go old school with the Prius and those kind of hybrids, because the Camry and the Corolla also have that same technology as the Prius, that it charges itself.
I was going to say, yeah.
Does it really though?
Yeah.
See, I don't. Well, so the Prime doesn't. I don't. Okay, do not quote me on this, but I don't think the Prime charges that electric battery while it's driving.
It probably regen brakes, but not probably as efficiently as like the Prius design, I guess.
Yeah, it probably gets a little juice there, but yeah.
Because even my diesel BMW it has like a little eco mode, so it's got a little extra battery or something. I don't know. Like, I don't use fuel if it's in the blue range on that. Yeah, it's using the battery that it charged up for my braking. It's weird.
That's pretty cool. So your wife does gig work too?
Yeah.
Just so you guys strictly both do gig work.
Yeah, we're full time, both of us. Well, I guess we want to average about 35 to 40 hours each.
Mm-hmm.
So when we combine, our goal is to be at like 3,000 each week.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's great. And you both do the same then, or?
Yeah, so I have a Model 3 or Model Y, and she has a Model 3, which she's waiting on a wait list to get into a Model Y. So I have the Lyft Lux Black, since I'm not registered with like any of the stuff on requirements for Uber Black. Which is basically a limo license. I don't have that, so I don't have Uber Black yet, but I'm working on that.
Very cool. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. This has been cool to hang out with you. How can people find you? I'm sure it's pretty easy, but let us know.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at The Driven Dad, also Instagram. I do have one follower on Facebook.
One follower?
Yeah.
Is that your wife?
No, she doesn't even have Facebook. So, and we don't use Facebook. So I don't know. I just started attaching my streams to there.
Yeah.
And then I'm on Rumble at The Driven Dad and Odyssey at The Driven Dad. And I guess I just registered Twitter and Twitch as well.
And it's all the Driven Dad.
That's The Driven Dad. Yep.
Very, very cool. Well, I appreciate it. We'll obviously put all the links in there, and then check out Tony's stream. He streams a lot. He's in Colorado, so the time change is a little weird, but since I'm home right now, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm doing like editing work, and I wish I could edit audio and listen to YouTube at the same time, but it doesn't work. I can watch the video.
It's a little hard, huh?
Yeah.
strangely, can YouTube put up captions? Like, can I like put a screen, like, because I have 2 monitors, can I put up like where I could read that and then not have the audio on?
So if I were to actually, I don't know about live, but like my edited videos, I can put in CC, but I have to type it in myself.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, that's what I said. No thanks. Maybe I should put one of my kids to work on that, because we homeschool them, so that'll be typing practice.
Perfect. I mean, they need to know how to do it, and make them do it on an iPhone and not on a computer.
And then they'll be calling me, and they'll be like, what did that say? That's not what I said.
Right. And then they'll have like arthritic thumbs from like doing this for like 8 hours a day.
They'll just buy some AI program that'll do it for them, and they won't tell me.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll see it on your statement next month.
Right.
Right. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for listening to the Gig Economy Podcast B-side. We'll be back next week, Wednesday, for our normal show live stream. So check it out.
And Jason will be back.
I will be back. Have a good night.